Welcome to Real Deal. I'm Tara.
And I'm Jazelle.
And this week we are talking about the long-awaited addition in the franchise of Alien Romulus, 2024 film directed by Fede Alvarez.
It has a 3.7 rating on Letterboxd, and the description is, while scavenging in the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. Starring Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, Archie Renault, Isabella Merced, and Spike Fern, and more.
Oh, and Eileen Wu.
Eileen
Wu is on the cover of the poster. I have a lot to say about this movie. I want to say, starting off with our expectations.
Yeah.
Are you an Alien franchise fan?
Okay, I do have to say I have only ever seen the original Ridley Scott 1979 Alien.
Period.
And I haven't seen Alien 3, have not seen Prometheus, have not seen the other ones.
I will say, and I think this is great because it gives such differing perspectives, even though Jazelle and I share opinions on the movie. My mom is a huge Alien fan, and so I was raised an Alien fan. I'm a huge Prometheus fan. I love that movie.
I feel like everyone loves that movie.
This is so good. I watched Covenant for the first time recently, and I really liked it. I know a lot of audiences in the franchise are like very split on Covenant. I liked it. Jomar and my boyfriend and I, we watched Aliens last night.
Okay. You revisited?
Yeah, we revisited. I also think it's very important to point out how this franchise is dominated by such directorial powerhouses.
I do agree.
David Fincher, James Cameron, Ridley Scott, and Ridley Scott is behind Covenant, Prometheus, and of course the original. And I think a few more of them in the franchise. I had such high expectations for this.
I did too, as someone that isn't a part of the franchise. And having loved the original Alien, I was looking forward to this. But I was disappointed.
Yeah, I was really frustrated for many reasons. I wasn't really feeling this.
And we will say, we sipped the haterade this morning. We did. Tara just saw this movie. I saw it last week. And yeah, so if you want to hear our crazy takes and some spoilers that happened about things, reasons why this disappointed us, keep on listening. Let's just go into did you like anything about this movie?
I did. There is a few things I liked. I will say, for those who are planning to see this, obviously we're going to get into spoiler territory. I think it's important to point out that the whole plot of Alien Romulus is building off of the foundations of the franchise. They're trying to get these Weyland-Yutani units for cryosleep. Basically, they're trying to be able to escape the planet that they're stuck on. They don't like it there. They're doomed there. It's kind of like a mining colony. And so they want to break into the Renaissance ship that's been kind of stranded in space and get these cryosleep units. And that's kind of the whole plot that we're going with here.
Yeah.
I will say what I appreciate is the sound design immediately. I liked it very much. I think that it kind of builds on top of what you have in the original Alien with Mother booting up and kind of the like beep beep beep. I thought it was cool. Yeah. I think eventually it gets a little corny because we're relying on that for cheap thrills. A moment of silence and then like the alien, the computer booting up and then you're scared and corny. But I did really like the sound design. I really liked David Johnson's performance. I understand that Kaylee Spaney is the lead in this movie. I understand we're supposed to be looking at her as some kind of iteration of Ripley, but I didn't even care about Kaylee Spaney in this movie. That is not to say that I thought she was terrible. I just didn't notice her next to David Johnson. He carried this movie on his fucking back. Carried it. And did a lot of carrying because I thought the script was not very good. Absolutely carried it. I really liked it.
Yeah. I do have to agree. I know that a lot of people had problems with this actually, but I appreciated the like horror movie aspects of it with the jump scares and traditional aspects. Oh, you didn't like it? Okay. I feel like that was one of the few things that I did like, along with David Johnson's performance, and I agree, the sound design, and also I feel like, we've talked a lot recently about how bad CGI is recently. And I think that the xenomorphs are really well done.
Yo.
That human hybrid guy, however, What the fuck?
No,
flopped. They used all their budget on the first half.
Okay, we're immediately getting into things that we didn't like.
Things we didn't like.
It's already over. Oh, I will say I liked Isabella Merced in this too, as Kay. She didn't get a lot of screen time, which is something I'll get into later, but I really think she's a great up-and-coming actress. She also was recently cast in The Last of Us, and I'm excited to see her work in that. It'll be nice to kind of see her get more airtime. Things I didn't like, immediately do not appreciate the CGI reincarnation of Ash. Fucking hated it. Oh my gosh. Hated it. It was so unnecessary. So I didn't like that. It felt corny.
And you noticed it right away.
Yeah, I just was, why? Mm-hmm. I think that we could have furthered the story without needing to do that. Yeah. It just wasn't necessary for me.
Definitely. I have to say, right now, I may be Kaylee Spaney #1 hater. After seeing Civil War and then watching this, I do have to say...
Was she bad in Civil War? Or was she good enough that she pissed you off?
No, she was bad.
She was bad? I haven't seen it. It's not on my watch list, I fear.
Her acting feels exactly the same throughout her whole career, I do have to say, except for Priscilla. But it was just... I really wanted to like her, especially because I did love Priscilla so much. Yeah. This flopped for me. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I was just like, whatever. David Johnson just so overpowered this movie. I kind of didn't care about it. Yeah. And oh my God, there's another movie that I'm thinking about where I'm like, oh, the lead was not that good, but that supporting character. Honestly,
Twisters?
Yes.
I immediately thought of Twisters.
But also, like, this felt the way that Star Wars did. When that last trilogy came out, when it was like Rey and Finn, you know?
This and you felt like somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah, Palpatine did fucking return.
Like, bitch, what the hell?
Yeah, where I was like, oh, like, okay, yeah, Rey. But I thought that Finn was going to be the main character, you know? Like, that sort of thing. And I was just like, the performance was so much better. Yeah. No, he did easy, really, but, like, it gave that same kind of just, like,
okay. Yeah. I care about what's going on behind the scenes more. And that brings me to what I think another thing that frustrated me about this film is Alien was such a great role for Sigourney Weaver, but not only for her, for the cast. And I think you spend a lot of time doing such important world building in Alien and in all of the other movies. World building, I think that you really get to know your characters and therefore care about them. Yeah. And I don't think that happens in Romulus. I think that immediately off the bat, you are watching a horror movie. Mm-hmm. And so there's no foundation with which to care about these characters at all. Definitely. Not enough, you know?
Yeah, I could see that. I feel like that was the only thing keeping me holding on, though.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just was like, Eileen Wu, I feel like we could have gotten such an interesting story from her with the face hugger and like what happens with her, but she's like immediately dead.
Yeah, she is on the poster, but she dies in the first 10 minutes, it feels like. Yeah. And I do agree with that. One of the first things that I noticed was there was no backstory to any of the characters, really. I didn't give a fuck about them the whole time. Yeah. And the jump cuts in the beginning were fucking heinous.
Yeah. Not good.
They clearly cut that movie, chopped it up, and was like, okay, the middle to the end is what we got to focus on here. Because some of those cuts were insane.
It was a lot of focus on jump scares for me and not a lot on story. Yeah. And I didn't really appreciate that. I don't know. I just think that there was such an absence of, you know, set design and world building that I really appreciate in the original movies. And something like cool that I wanted to point out is that on Renaissance, obviously you have one half of the ship is Romulus and then the other half is Remus. And that's a great play on like sibling relationships because the whole plot of this movie is between Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson as siblings, you know, and their relationship and how, you know, David's ineptitude to take care of himself has made Kaylee into someone who is more, I don't know, she has more humility about her. And I think that is really differing compared to some of the other Alien movies. But I didn't care enough about most of the characters that relationship was not as important to me. Like, I just cared about David Johnson. And, like, on a petty level, like, for once, I was like, yo, I'm I'm on his side because y'all are making stupid
no,
choices.
because why was I in the
Why am I
theater
opening
like,
the door?
let's go AI robots?
Why would I open the fucking door? Be so fucking for real.
Yeah.
Huh?
That was really stupid.
Huh?
Yeah.
She said, what are you doing? A bitch saving your life?
And she slapped him in the face. Be fucking for real.
Right. Yeah, I don't know about that.
As far as the xenomorphs go, I really hated that they like fucking were like born in the matter of like seconds. They are just like full grown.
It usually takes.
I don't remember them being
longer.
that fast.
It is quick, but it's not that quick.
No. That
There's
was
at
like
least like 5 minutes. Like you're seeing this progression too of them growing, and that was like immediate. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
we're speeding it up a little. I also am not a fan of the Offspring. I understand that he was trying to do something edgy and different and whatever.
It was so stupid.
I think it's also important to point out that the whole time I was watching this movie, I was thinking about how similar it is to Evil Dead.
I agree.
And naturally, Fede Alvarez did direct the, I think, 2013 Evil Dead. And that's the only thing I was thinking about the whole time, is that this doesn't feel like an Alien installment. It feels like it belongs to a different franchise.
And that character design reminded me of the mother in Barbarian.
Yeah. Or Cenobites in Hellraiser.
Totally.
It wasn't really giving, like, anything related to Xenomorph.
It was, like, whatever. I was just over it.
I'm not bagging on the ability to create a new creature in Alien either. I think that that's definitely possible, but I don't think... My main gripe with this movie is that nothing was new about it. Everything was borrowed from a pre-existing installment, and to me, it's like, you're not offering me anything new.
Yeah.
You know, even some of the lines are repeats. We have to reanimate, use CGI to reanimate Ash, have him be like, I prefer the term synthetic human or whatever. I was like, okay, they borrowed that from Aliens. Like, can't give me something original.
Yeah.
Please. What's the point? What is the point? What was the point of the whole movie?
Yeah. I have to say, I am an H.R. Geiger stan. So this character, this is more of like an Alien overall, but specifically in this movie, like, I don't know. I love H.R. Geiger's work. He's so talented. I get that he's always using like male and female genitalia as imagery.
Tell the audience who H.R. Geiger is.
H.R. Geiger is the artist who established the character design for the Alien franchise. And, I do appreciate it. I guess I don't really know how it like ties in other than like male and female mother reproduction type shit like in the characters. I thought that some of it was like really unnecessary, to be honest. And I don't think that I'm prudish or like unnecessary, but I thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever. Okay, like that literal wall pussy, whatever, fine. Spewing acid, me too, girl, and
no, real,
been there. I don't know. I was just like, I don't understand like the necessity of it, but
yeah, I don't know. I also think that the birth scene at the end, again, major spoiler, like that's supposed to be one of the craziest scenes in the entire film. I don't know how I felt about that. I really don't. Yeah. I don't want to be like, oh, it wasn't necessary. But like low-key, along with the rest of the movie, I'm not sure what point it served.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the point of that was. And I think I'm saying all of that to say, like, I keep asking what the point was. I think my biggest takeaway from the Alien franchise is, along with its commentaries about gender and sexuality, is that why do humans deserve to live? They're not movies about humans dying. They're movies about, like, why humanity deserves to persevere despite all of the things that we inflict upon each other and our home planets and other people. It is a survival story about why we deserve to be here. And Romulus, to me, did not answer any questions. It did not show me a reason that people deserve to be alive.
It didn't feel like it progressed the story further.
No, it didn't add anything to me. It didn't show me anything. I didn't care enough about these characters to feel like, yeah, that's a solid addition. I understand why. I mean, like, it just felt like this was an Evil Dead movie.
Sure.
And it wasn't an Aliens movie.
Yeah, and I mean the 3.7 on Letterboxd had me. I mean, maybe you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I just don't understand the Alien franchise. Like I said, I did enjoy the first one, but I don't know. This is just like so lackluster to me. I had high hopes because all my friends seemed to love it, and so I was like, yeah, let's fucking go. And then now I'm like, "Ugh, whatever."
A very trivial script too.
Yeah, it was so trivial. Been there, done that, and then it left nothing to the imagination. Didn't leave the door open.
Yeah,
like
I think Covenant and Prometheus make such great, statements with all of the dialogue that they have with Michael Fassbender. The work you did in those movies, let me tell you, beautiful man, beautiful movies. More than great gowns, definitely. Mm-hmm. There's such great conversations about creation and destruction and, again, humanity in those movies. And Romulus, it really felt like Gen Z's version of Alien, and it wasn't giving anything. Like, AI written, just a hack script. There was no commentary on anything. I just felt like it was unnecessary. I don't know. That's just me. It was a bummer. I think that this is one of the biggest bummers of the summer.
Yeah.
Blockbuster letdown, for sure.
Blockbuster letdown, for sure. Anyways.
I'm excited for more from David Johnson and Isabella Merced, though. Mm-hmm. That I'm excited for. Especially because David Johnson was just freed from HBO's Industry. I'm trying to see what he's on next.
Yeah.
What's on next?
So, Tara, what'd you give this on Letterboxd?
I gave this a 2.
I gave it a 1.5.
Period.
Because it did make me laugh when I saw that human xenomorph.
1.5 is crazy, because I feel like movies I give 1.5 are like, you'd have to kill me before I watch that again. But I feel like...
No, because I liked Ricky Stenicki.
That's crazy.
I would rather watch Ricky Stenicki.
That's still a 2, because at least there's like a plot. Like, I feel like a 1 is like... I don't even know. I gotta think of something I've given a 1.
I don't know. This shit was so bad to me.
Like, 2 is generosity.
I'm trying to think of what recently I gave a 1.5, but I honestly, it's hard to even say.
Hold I think on, I guys, even gave. Look. Yeah, we're pulling up. We're pulling up
the letterbox. We're pulling up the stats
we
here.
We would like to see. What we gave
I gave Borderlands a 2 over.
That's crazy.
Alien Romulus.
That's actually insane.
And I put in my review of Borderlands, I can find joy in anything.
You're insane. I actually gave Hellraiser a 2. As well as this, and I gave a 1 to Beau is Afraid, which I stand by, and Madam Web, because Madam Web felt like it was written by AI. I was gonna say harsher things, but I wasn't. I'm gonna just...
Okay, things I've rated. I've also rated a 1.5. Fuck. I rated Madam Web a 1, Civil War a 1, Five Nights at Freddy a 1, Wonka a 1. So you know, like, where my scale is. When Harry Met Sally, half a star.
Whoa, redacted. We're not going to talk about that, you guys. Because we really did not like that movie.
We fucking hated that movie. But other things I gave a 1.5. The Haunted Mansion, the second one.
Right.
With Tiffany Haddish.
Well, yeah.
The Exorcist, Father of the Bride, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
The original? The first one.
I'll close it off over that.
We're turning off the episode. That's crazy work.
Anyways, guys, we'll see you in the next episode.
What
Thank you so much for tuning in.